So we got more trout action. So we switched to an inline spinner here using a Panther Martin size 4 Panther Martin. Got a silver blade and a yellow body with red dots on it. Made a few more casts down that bank, didn't get any more bites, so I decided to try it down this bank and throw it out there, and boom, hooked up. When I'm throwing these inline spinners, I like to use a barrel swivel. I usually use about a foot leader from this barrel swivel down to the spinner. This helps reduce the line twist that you get with these inline spinners. So I move back down the bank toward this corner here, and the trout are thick. Got this one on. Does a little jump in here. This one's a little bit bigger. I was afraid he's going to break my line if he got to going crazy there, if I lifted him up, so. Get him back in quick. These little trout are a lot of fun, especially on an ultralight pull. This pull I'm using is a medium light pull. I think it's like a 6-footer. It's just a real cheap setup I use for bluegill fishing and stuff. Works fine for these trout. Hooked up again. You can't see it real good on the video, but there's fish breaking the surface all around there. Oop, quick release. Made it easy for me. Clearing some weeds off there. Boom, another one. Just constant action. Definitely nothing boring about this. I've had some cold weather, so the bass fishing's kind of slowed down here the last few weeks. So this is a good option. Fish for some trout. Trout like the colder weather. These are stock fish, so they're used to eating every day pretty much. Got a cloudy, overcast day today. Actually starts raining here toward the end. And it's fairly windy. Here in this corner is kind of protected. There's a bunch of trees behind me. So that's one reason I moved up here. I was getting cold. But I'm just fishing my way around this pond. And I've pretty much caught them everywhere I've been. But these corner areas are always good. For trout or bass. Gives them a place they can kind of trap bait up in the corner there and makes it easier for them to catch them. Got another one. Stock Trout City. This one's splashing pretty good. Another quick release. Made it easy for me. Hooked up again. This one maybe a little smaller one. I don't know. He's a jumper. Actually, it's a pretty decent one. Yeah, it's a bigger one actually. Trying to get them back as fast as I can. Don't want to keep them out of the water too long. These trout are kind of fragile fish. If you keep them out for any extended period of time, there's a pretty good chance they're probably going to die and not make it. So you want to handle them as little as possible and get them back in the water right away. They're definitely not as tough as a bass or a catfish or something. Got another one. Oh, he's going crazy. Nebraska Game and Parks stock these trout every fall and every spring in a lot of these little city ponds, and it's just a put and take fishery. These fish can't survive the summer in most of these little lakes, so I encourage people to get out and catch them and take them home and eat them. Boom, hooked up again. Man, this is just a blast. So much fun. Definitely a good opportunity to take somebody fishing that's never been fishing and let them catch some fish and have some fun. And they can even take them home and eat them if they want. These fish are nuts, man. They just go crazy. They never give up. They're the Iconelli of fishing right there. Or fish. They never give up. Even when you got them out of the water. If you don't know what I'm talking about Iconelli, he's a pro bass fisherman. His motto is never give up. Hooked up there, but my line was wrapped around the bail somehow. So I had to get that taken care of before I could reel this fish in, but That's another nice little dude that made it easy on me and just fell off the hook. Back into the pond. I don't know how many I end up catching here in this spot, but it's quite a few. Little jumpers. I can hear my mom now watching this video. What are you doing letting all those fish go? The line had wrapped around the blade of the spinner there. I had to unwrap it so it would spin right and then throw it out there and bam. Trout. Trout City! I'm really liking that panther martin. It is a trout killer right there. Fish these a lot in streams and canals and lakes that are stocked with trout, and they pretty much catch them all the time. Old booger's fighting harder once he's out of the water than he did when he was in the water. Back he goes. When I got to this little pond, the parking lot was full, and I was like, uh-oh, bunch of people fishing, but nobody's fishing. I couldn't believe it. Everybody was just out walking a walking trail. It goes around the pond here and down through the parkaways. There were kids playing baseball and football across the street there, but nobody was out here fishing. Which was good for me. Just means I could fish anywhere I wanted, and I was catching plenty of them. Spot's really flat calm here. As I said, there's trees there that are kind of protecting this area. So I didn't figure the jig would be as good over on this end of the pond anyway, so I knew I could catch them on this inline spinner, and I was right. They're hammering it. These fish are crazy. Come on, little buddy. Let me get you off of there and I'll throw you back in. There you go. Pretty soon here, I think I end up moving around. I kept seeing a bunch of fish swirling over there on that bank across from me. And yep, here I am moving over there. I kept seeing them surface here on this side. So I'm just gonna throw down this bank here. And it's gonna happen about now, I think. Boom, fish on. Fish on. Gotta hook up 3 casts in a row here. Another one comes off for me. Kind of stuck in the weeds, so I'm gonna reach down there and help him get back into the water better. Pretty decent little trout there. So I throw back out, and I think, boom, there's another one. 2 in a row. But I've been here probably 3 hours now. And the cold's starting to get to me a little bit. I throw this one back in. Throw back out there. And boom, got another one. 3 in a row. But I've had about as much fun as I can handle. So I'm gonna catch one more fish here. And then I'm gonna call it a day. It's starting to drizzle. I'm cold and don't really want to get wet. So I catch this one, and that's going to be the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed this inline spinner trout fishing. And thanks for watching. Got another one. Stock Trout City.